Hello there folks, welcome back to the Chap's Guide. My name is Ash and I am your host on this journey through men's style, self-development and personal grooming. Today I'm going to answer a question on style from a gentleman who has written to me. And the viewer in point is somebody called Sean Dunn. Hello Sean, thanks for your question. Thank you for contributing to the channel with something that you would like my observations on. So, what is the question? Ash, what type of clothes should I wear as a gentleman? What I wear daily is a tie-dye pink t-shirt and a pair of shorts and a pair of white sneakers. I want to improve the way that I'm dressed and I want to dress like a bloke, not a boy. Can you please give me some advice? Well, Sean, what I will tell you is that you are not alone. I get an increasingly large volume of questions and emails from gentlemen who ask me a similar question, and I end up relaying this advice over and over again. So it's really great to be able to put it into a video with my thoughts and observations, which may be helpful to other people, because I think many men find themselves trapped in this seemingly endless cycle of more and more casual attire, where, you know, a couple of years ago a polo shirt would have been as casual as most men would go. These days a t-shirt or a vest seems to be where we are. I can't see how we can become much more casual, but I do know from the correspondence that I get that many men feel uncomfortable, that they're trapped in this cycle. These basic clothes, oh hang on, one of my assistants, nice. These basic clothes are damaging people's self-esteem, that they are, you know, making you have a lack of confidence in your physical appearance. So I do have some advice and some tips that I can pass on to people which will help you get a grip, and as Sean says here, dress like a bloke, not a boy. Now my first tip for you is confidence. All right, you need to have confidence to improve the way that you dress. Now I know Sean, for instance, he probably already has confidence because he's posed a question and he tells us that he is ready to begin his style evolution. He wants to improve the way that he dresses and to go from being sort of very casually dressed to a little bit more classically stylish. And this can be a hard step to take. This is why I say you need confidence, because you're going to feel different. When you start dressing more sartorially, you will find that people will treat you differently. And initially, it may not be in a good way. Surely in the future, you will find all of the benefits from being better dressed. But initially, those around you are going to find it strange. They will ask you, why are you dressing like that? Some may actually be thinking, but don't want to say it, why is this guy dressing up? He's showing me up as a bit of a slob. And in many cases, your friends may make jokes at your expense. You know, where are you going? To the opera or something like that? And these little pithy remarks may knock your confidence. They may damage your self-esteem. But rest assured, sir, in many cases when people make these jokes at your expense, they are doing so because their own lack of confidence is rising to the surface and they're being a little bit prickly in their defense of their own style of clothing. And by rubbishing your look, that's how they're defending their own style. But you will find, if you stick to your guns, you dress smartly, it will have an impact on those around you. Those very people who make jokes, in short order, you'll notice that they will start to dress a little better. Because as you have broken the sartorial mold in your circle of friends and associates, when they see you perhaps wearing a tweed sports jacket instead of, you know, a leather jacket or whatever is the habitual wear within your group of friends, when they see you stepping into that next sphere of men's style, it kind of breaks down the barrier. It opens the floodgates. As I say, you've broken the mold. And very quickly you will see your friends following suit. You have just become a style leader, no longer a fashion follower. And that's where you want to be. So have confidence, the confidence of your conviction that you are ready to dress better. Now, my second philosophy to dressing a little better takes a bit of visualization, because nobody expects you to go from casually dressed man about town to an intentionally well-dressed man in one fell swoop. All right, you don't go from a t-shirt to a Turnbull and Asser sartorially styled shirt overnight. If you did, it would be traumatic for you, those around you, probably financially devastating, and you wouldn't feel comfortable in the process. The way to do it is to move along your sartorial evolution incrementally. And the way I often describe this to people is, I want you to imagine, and it is imaginary, a dial, right? A volume dial, as you might find on the front of your, fancy bit of hi-fi equipment at home. And at the bottom of that dial, the low setting, this is your most casual attire. It's that tie-dye t-shirt, it's the shorts that you describe, and those white sneakers that you wear on your feet. That's the lowest setting. Then you turn that volume level up notch by notch. At the very top of the setting, it may be a black tie. Depends on your life. For me, it would be a black tie. And there are many, many incremental points in between the bottom and the top. We move them up one notch at a time. Now, everybody's sartorial volume level is different. That style knob is different for me as it is different for you. And it is dependent on the life that you live, what the upper setting is. All right, so, if you are a regular attender at the symphony or the orchestra, a black tie, a dinner jacket, might be the highest setting that you will ever encounter in your life. For me, that would be about my highest level. All right, about 2 or 3 times a year, I tend to get invited to events where a black tie or dinner suit or tuxedo, whatever you call it, wherever you live, would be what I would require to wear. It's my number 10 on the volume scale. Now, at the midpoint of my volume scale would be a blazer, a navy blazer, or a tweed sports jacket. That's kind of my middle point. For you, in your life, if you don't go to the opera or the symphony or to, charity events in the evenings where you need to wear a black tie, at number 10 for you might be the blazer, or it might be the tweed sports jacket. You might be a farmer and you might go to the county show once or twice a year. So you need to wear a tweed jacket. That's the highest level of sartorial elegance which is required in your life. So that is your number 10. It's different for everybody. But think of that knob, turning it up one volume at a time to get a little bit more sartorial elegance into your life. That's how I visualize improving my standard of dress. Now let's apply that to the items that we wear on a daily basis. Now let's think of those white sneakers that Sean told us were his daily wearers. And let's apply my style volume knob to that whole process. So at the bottom level, it'll be those white sneakers. That's as casual as you go. In fact, you could go a bit less casual. You could even wear flip-flops, depending on your life. But for me, let's turn the volume up just 1 or 2 clicks. Now, if I was a sneaker-wearing guy and I wanted to look a little smarter, I might think to myself, I like the sneaker comfort, but I also want a bit of elegance. So I'm going to go for one of these hybrid shoes, which have a sneaker sole and more of a classical dress shoe upper. They're becoming more fashionable. Or just maybe a sneaker, but with a more classical colour to them, like a brown or a toffee colour. So you get, in essence, a sneaker which is dressed up to look a little more smart. That's 1 or 2 clicks up the dial. Let's turn it up a few clicks more. Let's now go on to maybe a desert boot or a chukka boot of some kind. Now we've left the athletic shoe aesthetic behind and we've moved into something which is definitely a bit more classical. Let's move it up 1 or 2 notches again. We're over halfway now. Maybe we're wearing a brown brogue or a semi-brogue. Turn it up a few clicks more and we're into, a black Capto Oxford, because we're at the top end of that scale. And let's crank it all the way up to number 10 and we've got a patent leather shoe which we could wear with our dinner jacket. That's how we're using the style volume to alter the way we look, one crank at a time. So if for you, your number 10 is going to be a brogue, you can alter that style volume one increment at a time. Don't think of it of jumping from a flip-flop to a patent leather dress shoe, one click at a time. Let's talk about those shorts, or let's talk about something more common, jeans for instance. Most men probably wear jeans as their daily habitual wearing trousers. Let's crank that up a few notches. Stick with the jeans, but instead of those light, washed out jeans with maybe holes in the knees or strategically paced, laddering on the garments, let's wear a pair of nice, good quality, dark, indigo blue jeans. That's all we've done. We've just changed the colour. That's turned it up a few notches. Let's turn it up a few notches more. Let's take those jeans to the seamstress or the tailor and get them altered so they fit us perfectly. We've already significantly improved our appearance, and we're still more or less wearing a pair of trousers from the same family that we were originally, jeans. Let's step outside that jean zone, turn it up again, chinos. Now you have access to all sorts of different colours and different styles. Starting to look good. We can have pleated fronts, flat fronts, any number of different styles, but they are certainly more formal. One more click again. Let's talk about grey flannel slacks, or any coloured flannel slacks. Woolen slacks, they're very smart, very elegant, can be worn with a blazer. Maybe that's your number 10 when it comes to trousers. It is for me. I don't tend to wear any trousers any more elegant than grey flannel slacks. So we've already applied that style volume knob to our trousers. If you're talking about shorts, as Sean was, instead of maybe a pair of cut-off jean shorts, let's get a pair of chino shorts, which can have, be pressed, a nice crease down the front, maybe a little turn-up at the bottom of the leg of the shorts, and already we've elevated ourselves a couple of notches. So even within the quite small world of shorts, we can use the style volume knob to turn our volume up a few notches when it comes to style. T-shirts. Now, we talked about the t-shirt. Sean tells us he wears a pink tie-dye t-shirt, really casual. I mean, I stopped wearing t-shirts probably when I got to about 45 because I felt, I still wear t-shirts. I've got one on now under this roll neck sweater that I'm wearing, but I now wear it as a layering garment, not a primary garment to show the world, because to be honest, t-shirts are not flattering, and as one gets older and gravity affects the body, it's not a beautiful sight. It's all very well being 25 and having a pert, muscular physiology, but when you get older, t-shirts are not your friend. So turn up the knob. Let's get into a polo shirt. It's got a collar. It's got better, sleeves that fit you better. It tends to be a better manufactured garment of higher quality materials. It flatters the appearance. Turn it up another notch, and we move on to a dress shirt, perhaps. Maybe made of linen or something like that, not a full-on dress shirt, but again, you're becoming more stylish. Turn it right up, and we go on to a cotton dress shirt, long sleeves, maybe with French cuffs or barrel cuffs, different patterns, different materials, very smart. The long sleeve shirt can be varied between looking casual and smart simply by the way that you wear your sleeves. You turn the sleeves up above the elbow and you've got quite a casual shirt. If you leave the sleeves all the way down, done up at the cuff, much more formal. But that's as high as most people need to go. A dress shirt using that volume knob. Now, one of the things which I learned a long time ago is that when my style knob goes up and down, knitwear is a really important thing. Sweatshirts and hoodies do not present a fantastic image of style. So instead of wearing those cotton sweatshirts or hoodies, move along to a proper sweater, something made of wool, which has been properly made to keep you warm. I often wear sweaters in the cooler times of year, as I am now in the early spring, where, I could wear a sweatshirt, but I've turned that volume knob up and I'm wearing woolens. So much more stylish, so much more elegant, and so much more practical. One of the things about wool, for instance, is that even when it gets wet, wool maintains its insulating factors against your skin. It still keeps you warm. Synthetic materials absolutely do not. So stick to wool. It's going to look better than that hoodie any day of the week. Now, when it comes to jackets, that volume knob has got a lot of range of movement. At the very bottom, you can wear a leather jacket or whatever you choose. Whatever is the casual element that you dress on a day-to-day basis. You might wear a sort of shirt jacket like I'm wearing today. This is towards my lower level of style volume because I'm just chilling. It's a Sunday afternoon. I'm out in the woodland. I'm not dressed up to impress anybody. I'm actually dressed up to fight the elements right now. So my volume level is turned down rather low. But if I wanted to turn it up and I wanted to be really stylish, I could go for a Harrington jacket. Nice, smart, classically elegant, really, well tailored, gives you a good silhouette, makes you look good. Turn it up again. Maybe it's a cooler day. A pea coat. A woolen pea coat keeps you snug and warm, protected against the elements in the winter, but because of its formal uniform style, and of course it originates from a military uniform, it has the ability to look very smart. You can even wear a collar, tie and a sports coat under a pea coat and it's going to look absolutely fine. Turn that volume right up. Get yourself an overcoat, and there you have probably the highest level of formality that any gentleman will need for his outerwear needs. Warm, practical, and absolutely elegant. And actually, overcoats can be worn across a wide variety of your clothing. So don't be afraid to turn that volume up and get stuck in to the more classical styles. And finally, do not forget the accessories. When it comes to men's style, so often the devil is in the detail. It's the little things that make the difference. Now, a hat, for instance. We live in an era where the hat that everybody's wearing is a baseball cap. And they are not stylish. They are practical, they do keep the sun out of your eyes, but they do not portray anything about your character as an intentionally well-dressed man. For me, if you want to turn that knob up just a little bit, a flat cap or a newsboy cap. Really elegant and stylish and very practical in the modern world. Turn it up just a little bit more and you can get yourself a trilby. About the midway point, I would say a trilby is where you'd want to be. All different styles available in this day and age, from corduroy to the more traditional felt, and anything in between, and in any colours in between as well. If you want to turn it up a bit more, maybe a Homburg hat, a bit more classical, a bit more elegant, or a fedora, like Indiana Jones. Or at the top of the shop for me, because let's be honest, the very top of the shop of the hat world is going to be a top hat, but I've not yet encountered a situation in my life where I need one of those. For me, my top hat is a bowler. I love a bowler. Classic, elegant, stylish, practical, and a head turner. But that is my number 10 level on the hat world. For you, it might be different. Now, there are many other things to consider when it comes to accessories. Things like your wristwatch. Look down, glance down at your wrist. Are you wearing a digital Casio with a black resin strap? Or are you not even wearing a watch at all, which is, the 0 level on your volume scale? Turn it up. Start to wear a watch. It is an element that a gentleman should always have at his disposal. Instead of wearing that digital watch, treat yourself to a nice analog dial watch. You can choose what dial color you have, any number of different variations that you can have for your own personal taste. Keep moving up, keep turning that knob up. Over the halfway mark, you might be into the automatic wristwatch world, where your wristwatch is doing something for you. It's keeping good time, it's winding itself, it's a classic and stylish addition to your outfit. Never forget these little things. What else can I talk to you about? Well, or your bag, of course. You may need to carry things around with you. And at the moment, you might be using that plastic bag that the supermarket gave you the last time you went to buy a few cans of beer. However, turn that volume level up. Get yourself a nice shoulder bag, right? An over-the-shoulder bag, a satchel, whatever you want to call it. that you can carry your equipment around with you, your bits and pieces, your phone, this, that and the other, so that everything is together. Turn it up a little bit more. You might want a leather version of that bag, a tote bag. Turn it up a bit more. You might want some form of briefcase or a valise, depending upon the volume that you need to put things in for your daily life. But keep thinking about, if I wanted to turn up that scale a little bit more, what would happen? Turn it up one more, get that thing. And just one more thing, pens, all right? Never neglect the fact that when you pull out your pen to sign something or write some notes and you're in a group meeting, perhaps with other people, you will be judged by that pen. So if you draw out a Bic biro, great practical items as they are, I use one in the office from time to time. However, it doesn't say anything about you. It's the level 1 on your style volume. Turn it up a little bit. Get yourself a nice biro pen, maybe with a metal shaft or something a bit more stylish. Turn it up a bit more. You're moving up that scale now. We've got a fountain pen, maybe with a coloured ink. So when we sign our signature, it's immediately recognizable and we're telling people we believe in an attention to detail. So all very important stuff. And now a final little tip for you. Don't forget, it's not all about what you wear. Sometimes it's about how you wear it. When you're turning up that style volume, you've also got to consider things like, okay, I'm wearing a pair of trousers. I'm wearing a nice dress shirt. But when was the last time I ironed them? Is there a good crease in my trousers so I can see a line down the front of my slacks? Or my shirt, is it crumpled? Is it sort of, looks as if it's been thrown on the floor and I've put it straight on off the bedroom floor? Or did I put it on an ironing board and show it the iron so that it is crisp and sharp? Like I say, it's not always about what you're wearing. And the classical thing is shoes, of course. If you're wearing a pair of nice quality leather shoes or leather sneakers, make sure you've shown it the polish or given it a good clean over at the very least, and conditioned that leather. Because not only are they going to look great, but they'll also last longer and they'll be better at their job. A well-protected, conditioned and looked after pair of shoes will repel the water. It will protect you. So it's not just about what you wear, it's about how you wear it. So there we go, Sean. I hope that was of some use to you on your journey, your evolution to becoming an intentionally well-dressed man. Think about that style volume. Think of where you're starting now as point 0. Think about where you want to be, or perhaps the most smartest you're likely to be in your life as point 10, and move your notch up incrementally as you go along, increasing the versatility, the sartorial elegance of your attire as you do so. You'll find it good fun and very enjoyable. So there we go, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, give us a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, click that red button and subscribe. If you'd like to contribute to the channel, please leave a comment in the comment section below or drop me a question via a comment or via an email. My email address is on the screen now. And if you'd like to practically support the channel, you could either buy me a coffee or become a patron. My patrons get additional videos every week, and you will see the names of my much revered patrons at the end of this video. So until the next time, take care, think about your style volume, and I will see you again very soon.